$1 million, baby. Juvenile said, back that thing up. So I have a question. Which backup is earning cash money? Starting at the top, Dalton.
So this one's tough for me. My answer made me Google my answer to make sure he was actually a backup. And he is considered a backup. You might not agree, but to me, the best backup in the NFL right now is Jalen Carter. This dude on the Eagles defensive line, okay? Because, I mean, that's the thing. He's listed a backup because Jordan Davis is the starter and some, depth charts. Like, it's a weird thing. He's not – I don't think he's the first pick on the defensive line. But if you watch the game on Monday night, my heavens, that dude is all over the field. He was an absolute steal. There's no way he should have went that far down to the Eagles. And every NFL team that didn't pick Jalen Carter should be ashamed.
Falcons.
Wish they did. I wish they did now.
Like we talked about earlier in the season, those Philadelphia Bama Crimson Bulldogs, mercy. Yep. I mean, if they don't win the Super Bowl or they're not your favorite in the Super Bowl right now, I don't know. I could understand if you say Miami or whatever, but they got to be up there. They have looked great.
So you saying Philly should be the Super Bowl pick?
I'm just saying they're in the argument.
Defense wins championship.
Where they are in the league.
They were there last year.
That's what I'm saying. They're if you say it, hey, I agree. But there's some other teams in there that you can argue. But Jalen Carter, this man threw a Mike Tyson right hand and punched the ball out into the next century. I mean, I feel bad for the ball. This man
I know I'm a homer. I know I'm a homer, but Jalen Carter is a top 5 defensive tackle right now.
Dude, it sure does seem that way. Dude, I'm not joking with you either. The way let's be honest, the Buccaneers really didn't play that bad. The Eagles' defensive line, when you can rush 4 people and drop everybody back, or 3 and get pressure in the National Football League, Tom Brady's not beating you. And Baker Mayfield sure as hell ain't beating you. And I've given Baker a lot of credit. He didn't play that bad, to be honest. But Jalen Carter's my pick. That man is unreal.
Leads the NFL.
He could change the NFL.
Leads the NFL in QB hurries from the defensive tackle spot, and he gets like 25 snaps a game.
That is absolutely correct. I heard that stat today, and I forgot about it. Thank you for bringing that up. You saved me.
Okay, Dylan, shoot.
I'm gonna kind of twist it a little bit. They aren't currently a backup, but soon they will be, and he will be the highest paid backup. That is Zach Wilson. Very soon he will be the backup for the Jets. I think they signed, was it Trevor Siemian today?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know if I'd have made that move to be the guy, but I think like at some point that locker room's going to turn. There's already rumblings that they're already sick and tired of him. They'll make that switch soon.
I don't blame them.
They probably didn't want to get anybody decent because they're probably tanking. You got to think about that too.
A lot of quarterbacks to go get.
You know what I mean? What's up, Coach?
Well, I'm going to stick with the quarterback side as a backup because that's the only position on the field to me where I consider it be a backup. I might steal it, but that means that once again, that's quarterback, OC, head coach on the same page, TJ.
I guarantee it.
But my guy is the backup, and I think he actually should be the starter. And that's Andy Dalton with the Carolina Panthers.
Yes.
He came out one ball game. He had 361 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yes.
In 2 ball games, Bryce Young's got 299 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Bryce Young is a better athlete than Andy Dalton will ever be. But Andy Dalton's been an NFL quarterback for a while.
Long time.
I think what they need to do is they need to let Andy Dalton ride this right now. Let Bryce sit over there and see it because he's already bummed. a bummed ankle in 2 ball games. So putting him back out there, trying to get him to start all over and figure it out again with a bummed ankle, now you're trying to end his career. So I look at Bryce Young is worth too much money, and he's too talented for you to go take an organization like the Carolina Panthers and stick him in the fire that quick. Let Andy Dalton ride this out for a while. Let Bryce learn. Give him some playing time. It doesn't matter if y'all are winning or you're losing. In the fourth quarter, you need to have some Bryce series just to see what he's picking up throughout the ball game. And then you need to focus on free agency and a draft and get that boy some linemen and get him some weapons. And Carolina Panthers will make a real big statement in the NFC South because it's not that strong of a conference to have that kind of quarterback in that conference. You know, you can name all the other ones, the Saints, the Falcons, Baker Mayfield, okay, Bryce Young. Who would you take? Bryce Young. But what good is it to have Bryce Young who can't stay on his feet because he's running all night and throwing picks because he don't have time to even read it and hadn't understood yet that in the NFL, what you see is not what you're getting. He need to be able to sit on the sideline, let Andy Dalton show him how it's done. I was impressed with the way he walked and followed Andy Dalton around throughout the ball game, but Dalton was looking at it like, get away from me. You're acting like a little step brother right now. No, dog, put him under your wing. You're not the guy. Bryce Young is the guy. He's the better quarterback. He's the best thing that y'all going to have for that organization going forward. Y'all hadn't had a quarterback that made a splash in that organization since Cam Newton was there and he first did his thing. So right now, what you need to do, sit Bryce down, let him be the backup with the money, put Andy Dalton in, and let this young man learn and watch what happens with the Carolina Panthers.
Well, let me tell you, I totally agree because I was watching that game last week, and I was like, there's no way that the Red Rooster should not be playing. He made that offense go. And I'm telling you right now, I'll take Baker Mayfield over Bryce Young right now. He just don't look good out there. He looks like I'm not saying Baker Mayfield is good, but he's better than Bryce is right now.
Even if he was on the same team with Baker Mayfield, I do the same. Put Baker in. He needs to learn. He's too good of a quarterback not to be able to get in there.
When's the last time any of you saw a quarterback line up under the wrong? He didn't even line up under the center.
Who was that? It was. I remember one.
Bryce Young did this last week. He lined up away from the center.
I did not see that.
Yeah, go look it up online. One of his players like, get over. And listen,
the running back.
Yeah, to get over. He wasn't even in the right position. If you do that as a quarterback, you don't need to be out there.
And it also takes let's be honest, it takes an experience to be an NFL quarterback. There's a lot of different things going on. And that's why I agree, Coach. Andy Dalton, this man is a proven veteran. He's honestly played well everywhere he's went. I think when you look at backup quarterbacks, you think of people like him, Colt McCoy, who else?
AJ McCarron.
Patrick. There's a couple guys that they've played for 20 different teams and have done honestly well with the situation given. I mean, I agree, Barry. I think Bryce does look he's definitely not settled in. Let's be honest.
Bryce was a great quarterback at Alabama. He did some really good things. He never took Alabama to the promised land. And I think it was more about Bryce than anybody. I'm sorry.
Or because of the two guys who tore their ACLs, but whatever.
Well, whatever you want to say, Bryce Young, we have seen rookies come in the league and at least be able to line up behind the center. What do you say, Tony, on this subject?
Well, I do want to build on JP real quick before I pick mine. I agree with that. I don't know why the NFL has gotten away from letting rookies sit for 6 games to a full season. I think talent-wise, Bryce is the more talented quarterback than any quarterback in that division, just straight talent. Obviously, Andy Dalton, like we said, he's a good quarterback. He's been good for years. He just sucks in the playoffs. That's all. He's a choke artist in the playoffs. I don't even think the dude's ever threw a touchdown in the playoffs. It's bad, when A.J. Green's first career postseason touchdown pass came from A.J. McCarron. That's how bad Andy Dalton was in Cincinnati in the playoffs. But Andy Dalton is not a bad quarterback at all. He'd be a great guy to learn from for a year. Like, I think you throw in guys like Bryce, Anthony Richardson especially, throwing these guys straight into the fire, I think you're just setting them up for failure. And like we said, I don't think it's all Bryce. I mean, like I said, their line's terrible, but he does not look comfortable at all. But I'm glad JP didn't steal my pick. I am staying with the quarterback. The guy is a backup. The guy has actually basically been fighting to stay on roster since he's been in the league. We know him because he's one of the smartest guys to ever be in NCAA. He was an aerospace engineer at the University of Tennessee. My backup, he's going to start this full season, but my backup earning the most money right now is Joshua Dobbs.
It's
for
good.
the Arizona Cardinals. This man has been barely making rosters. And let's be real. The Cardinals cut Colt McCoy, a veteran backup, specifically to tank. And Josh Dobbs is like, and he's had them leads in the second half of all 3 games so far.
Yeah.
They blew like a 28-0 or 28-7 lead to the Giants.
Yep.
Or 20, something like that. In the first game, they had to lead the whole game. And then he comes out and beats. I said it last week on the show. Y'all heard me say it. I didn't believe that smoke with the Cowboys. And he comes out and beats the best team in the league to some people. I never thought that. But he beats them. Straight out beats them. And then to make the trolling worse, this man goes live on Twitter into the Cardinals shop and says, you know what? I'm going to go build my own jersey. He goes, you can look this up. He goes to the thing to build a jersey. He goes, Cardinals, jersey size large, players, clicks it. They don't even have the guy's name in the computer. They don't have his name or number in the computer. The starting quarterback. He can't even make his own jersey. He's like, guys, I know I ain't been here long, but can y'all at least hook me up with a custom jersey? Joshua Dobbs is earning some money, and he's never going to be a starter in this league. Don't get me wrong. But he's earning to be a valuable backup going forward for some team. So he might finish 7-8 year, maybe even 10-year career as a backup. But he is definitely earning money right now, and he looks good. Throwing to nobodies.
Real quick, you said that Dobbs will never be a quarterback in the league. It depends. Now, if he starts winning, just like the same thing can be said for the Red Rooster, let him start winning, which we know it's not going to happen, but we've seen where these backups, even though they are shaky backups, start winning and start playing real good, and they do something great, and the people don't want them to go. The people, the fans want them to stay out there, and sometimes they'll do that. What do you say, Havoc?
Well, no, it's funny you said that. Geno Smith was one of those backups, but mine's actually a different one. People are probably going to fall asleep here, but I got to go with Walker Little, the left tackle for the Jaguars, because Cam Robinson suspended for 4 games, and Walker Little's done a great job of protecting Trevor Lawrence's blind side. Now, a lot of people are going to write that off because it's boring. Oh, offensive line, who cares? Fantasy points. But the left tackle is one of the most important positions in football. And Walker Little is currently a backup, but I think he's proven he can play. Last year he got reps on the right tackle, and now he's had successful reps on the left tackle. And that's a valuable position, guys. Let's be honest. Like Steve likes to say, let's be honest. The most valuable positions now in offense, we can make the argument, quarterback, wide receiver, offensive tackle.
Yes, I think tackle second.
Tackle second. Even more proof there. So
yeah, I have to agree. You don't know how important it is until you don't have one.
Exactly.